What's up, Shadow Nerds? Today we're going to do something a little different. Not that you care or ask, but I'm going to tell you my top 10 favorite rap albums of all time. I love music just like every other human being on the earth, and I've always wanted to do reactions on YouTube, but that's not going to happen because I don't want to get copyrighted, and I think there's plenty of reactors on YouTube doing it amazing as is. So, anyways. Some of these rap albums are going to be on everybody's top 10 of all time. Like, majority would say, this album's on there, this album's on there, and it's not even questioned. But some of these, you might be a little surprised. I grew up in the South, especially during this time. Late 90s, early 2000s was all me, man. That was my time. You know, that middle school, high school era was it for me, music. So I'm sure you'll be able to tell by some of these on this list here. So let's get it going. Again, my top 10 favorite rap albums of all time. Not because they're the best. There are better albums than some of these by some of these exact artists and I'm about to name. But for me, it may have just been a special time in my life when I listened to this album, and it's something that to this day, because of the memories it brings back or the impact it had on me in my life at that time, that I can throw on and play from beginning to end, and it's going. So these are in no order, all right? So don't pay no attention to that, all right? But I'm gonna count them out anyway. Number 1, Nelly, Country Grammar. I know what you're thinking. It's not the singles on there that like were a big deal to me, because there were some cool ones. Country Grammar, obviously, EI, obviously cool. But man, that was a great album. It was brand new. It was Nelly's first album. It was a big deal for St. Louis. I'm kind of all over the U.S. map on where these artists are from. But man, when Nelly hit the scene, I just remember everybody, even at my Christian Bible camp in the summer in middle school, everybody was singing Country Grammar. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pub, pass it to me now. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I know this song. Why do y'all know this song? You know what I mean? So that album was huge. It was a big deal for Nelly. Great album. Definitely my top 10. I can play it at any time from beginning to end. A lot of deep cuts on there that are just amazing. Anyways, number 2. This one is probably my favorite artist of all time. I used to ride around with my brother a lot listening to this artist, and that's how I got into rap music at a very early age. He's probably on everybody's top 10 as an artist, and this is probably an album that's on everybody's top 10 rap album. My number 2 is All Eyes on Me, Tupac. California in the house. Yeah, man, this is a double album. It was amazing. You got your singles on there. You got your How Do You Want It, Two of America's Most Wanted, California Love. Everybody knows that. If you're in the club and they play California Love, it's going crazy. I'm never in the club, but, you know, I'm just saying. A lot of deep cuts on here that I personally love, like Ambitions as a Rider, No More Pain, Trading War Stories, Only God Can Judge Me. Man, there's some Holler at Me. There's some great songs on this album. I think this one's it for everybody. With Tupac, there's quite a few albums that I really struggled with putting on there, but this one's got to take the cake. With it being a double album, man, it's hard not to mention that. So, all right, number 3. Some days I just went up and call it quits. I feel like I'm surrounded by a wall of bricks. Every time I go to get up, I just fall and piss. My life's like one great big ball of shit. If I could just put it all into all I spit. The next one is Marshall Mathers, LP. Man, when I was in middle school, first of all, I was living in not a great neighborhood. I was living in a trailer park. So between Marshall Mathers and the Eminem Show and 8 Mile coming out, man, I thought it was me. I'm like, that's going to be me in the future. I'm coming out of a trailer park. My mom's got a lot of issues. Single parent. We ain't got no money. We're on food stamps. The whole 9. And I was like, I feel this in my soul because this is what I'm dealing with. And plus, at that time in middle school, it was probably 6th, 7th, 8th grade for me. Everybody was feeling Eminem. This is like hot, man. And so I come out. This is me walking to school with the hoodie, with the beanie, with the headphones, looking like I just walked right off the 8 Mile set, rapping Lose Yourself and every other song on those albums, man. This was it. So Marshall Mathers LP, you got the big hits, you got your Stand, you got your Way I Am, you got your The Real Slim Shady, all that stuff on there. But but you got some deep cuts. You got your Amityville, some Kill You, some Marshall Mathers, man, some fucking great songs in there. Just, I can throw that album on it every time and get some prime Slim Shady, man. That album, it's still one of the highest selling rap albums of all time with its debut, man. So that's what put Eminem as we know it on the map. So you can't have a top 10 best rap albums of all time without the Marshall Mathers LP on there. Now, I'm going to get this off. I live in Florida. This is hot as fuck. Number 4. This the title of this album is so fitting because I just took all that shit off. So I'm hot as hell. This album is called 400 Degrees by Juvenile. We got New Orleans in the house this time. Eminem from Detroit, obviously. Nelly, St. Louis, Pac, California. Now we're heading it down to New Orleans. Man, I'm hot as hell. It's 400 degrees in here now. Juvenile, this was his breakout album that really set him apart from everybody else. A lot of first-time names on there and some ones, but people that later would become legends. Lil Wayne was on there. BG, Young Turk was on there. Birdman was on there. Manny Fresh was on there, man. Great album from beginning to end. It had a whole different style. Back That Ass Up. You hear that song come on, the violins. Dun, 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 dun. Everybody knows what's up. Great album, man. I love that style. It was like a first for me. You got a young Jay-Z on that album, spitting a verse. So yeah, Juvenile, 400 Degrees. That's my number 4. Now, number 5. www.thugcom by Trick Daddy. Now we got Miami in the house, someone from where I'm at. This album was great, man. You had a few hits on there. I can't remember off the top of my head because it's been a while since I listened to that album. I actually listened to it like 2 weeks ago, but it's been a minute. You got So What? You got Nan Ninja on there. You got Run Ninja on there. You got Trina was on that album. Man, you got a lot of, and that album hits hard. If you got a system, you got to play that album on there. www.thug.com. Trick Daddy, right at the height of internet exploding and coming out, so the whole world is getting its World Wide Web on to that album. So yeah, number 5, that one. Number 6. This one, I can't really repeat any of the lyrics because they were so fast at that time. I was probably 13, 14. They were all going right over my head. But the melody and the way he was rapping, man, just made me feel some type of way. Number 6, Twista, going up to Chicago this time, Adrenaline Rush. A young Twista who was really rapping his ass off. All kinds of different moods on that album, man. It was great from beginning to end. I used to call my friend who was into rap and be like, no. If you thought that was fast, listen to this artist, Twista. And I'd play him like 30 seconds of the Adrenaline Rush song or Emotions or something like that on there, on man. And it'd be crazy, man. We fucking love that album, dude. So, and he had that crazy looking sweater on the album cover, just sitting there, whatever, in that chair with the sick ass looking multicolor rainbow like sweater on there, man. It was crazy. That was a great album. If you haven't checked it out, please go listen to this. By the way, I want to hear your top rap albums. And I want to hear you shit on mine or like mine in the comments below. Please like, please share with your friends. All right. Number 7. The Game, the documentary. This album, when it came out, really put Compton like back on the map because it had been quite a few years. There was a few rumblings here and there from some artists. But The Game, man, that album, the production on there was awesome. How Do You Want It? Kanye was on there. Obviously 50, G-Unit at the time. Eminem had a song with him on there. Man, that album really brought the West Coast. I was rocking Converse for a minute because of it, you know, with the fat laces and everything because of The Game, dude. That album, How Do You Want It, was on there. Oh, man, that album was amazing. He followed it up with a pretty good one after that. But The Game documentary. So as you can see, I'm bouncing everywhere with sound. So I'm very curious to hear what y'all think. Number 8. Man, in 9th or 10th grade, in my time, I can't remember what year this was. God, was this like 2004-ish? I'll have to look it up. But Little John and the East Side Boys, Kings of Crunk, when that song Get Low came out, oh my God, the whole world fucking stopped. Everybody in middle school and high school was all, oh, skeet, skeet, motherfucker. Everybody was skeet, skeeting everywhere. That shit was huge. I remember walking back from like a school event. We're all walking back, all 3 and 4 of us, back to our cars, and they're playing music outside. That song comes back on, and me and about everybody else just run back to that motherfucker so we could all get crazy. Well, get crunk, as we used to say back then, and then start skeeting everywhere. No homo. But yeah, man, Lil Jon, the Eastside Boy, and Kings of Crunk, great album. A lot of really good songs in there. The bass on that album was fucking crazy. So we got Atlanta in the house now. Yeah. Number 9, we're going back to Atlanta again. Some OGs, some legends, somebody who hasn't put an album out together in years. I got a different album of theirs right here. Outcast, Aquemini. This is one of the first rap albums that I ever really listened to. And it hit me completely different because it wasn't what I was used to. It was a lot more melodic. It was a lot more different instrumentations. A lot of real instrumentals on there. The rapping was great between Andre and Big Boy. And they had that kind of funky alien type of, not like AT Aliens, but like funky alien type of like spacey vibes on that album. Outcast, Aquemini. Rosa Parks was on there. What else is on there? Return of the Gangster, Liberation, which is Ludacris's actually favorite song apparently. But yeah, that was a great album. You got a young CeeLo on there too. So yeah, Outcast, Aquemini. Now my number 10. This was a little bit later, but this is a man back in Atlanta again. This was a man that put out probably like 3 classic albums for real. Young Jeezy, The Recession. First one, amazing. The follow-up was a great for a sophomore album. But the third one, The Recession, that had Put On there. I'll put on for my city, on for my city. That album was amazing, bro, from beginning to end. And the way I was feeling at that time, I had just kind of moved here to this area. And man, there's so many songs in there that just hit me in a weird way. I don't know if it was the beats or the way he was rapping or what he was rapping about, man, but that album just got me for some reason. And to this day, I still bump Jeezy, man. That album, The Recession, definitely my top 10. So, with that being said, what are your top 10 albums of all time? Hip-hop albums. Should I do a rock version one day? Believe it or not, I could probably get through some rock albums. I'd love to know what yours are. Now, do me a favor. Tell your mama, tell your friends. If you ain't got friends, create a second email and have that email subscribe to my channel. And if your mom's cheating on somebody, tell that dude that she's cheating with to also subscribe to my channel. And I want to hear your thoughts. Please like, please subscribe, share your comments of your favorite albums down below. With that being said, Shadow Nerds, out.